Hello, welcome to Activate Presents Grow Your Mind chat sessions in collaboration with Collabs. I am your host, Anam Sethi. Welcome to the show. Now, today I want to talk to you about something very important, something that we also discussed last week with our mentor, Amra Mubashir. What is a growth mindset, really? Now, just because you are someone who wants to grow does not necessarily mean that you have a growth mindset. Let me clarify. It's a great first step, and it definitely means that you are on the right path. But according to Activate, a growth mindset really digs deeper. The definition that we use in most of our training interventions and what we like to tell our participants is that a growth mindset is the belief, the conviction that you can teach yourself whatever you want, that you can learn any skill that you need, and that you can even develop talent, no matter the consequences or the situation. Now, that means that there is really nothing holding you back if you truly believe this when it comes to achieving your goals. Let me just give you an example from my personal life here. When I was growing up, I was terrible at math. It was one subject that I would constantly get poor grades in. And as I grew older and older and became an adult, this belief that I was bad at math completely took hold of me. And I separated myself from all the learnings and all the subjects and all the courses that involved math. Now, the problem is I love math and I love physics, and that's the kind of person I am. And it took a lot of work, thanks to my Activate team, to help me overcome this fear of mathematics. So a growth mindset really then says that there is no quality that you are not born with. Rather, you can adopt anything that you want. And so the important questions to ask yourself are really, am I someone who loves challenges? Am I someone who is willing to put in the effort to learn and grow? Do I appreciate feedback, or does it really offend me somewhere deep down? And am I someone who likes to go out into the world and see what else I can do to get to my goals? Now, these are some things to ponder on, but I have someone very special with us who will help us learn a lot more about this. She is one of the most talented professionals in the industry by far. She has worked with the top organizations. She is a talent management specialist. She is greatly involved in the culture and diversity movement. And good news, she hosts her very own talk show, Cross the Line with Arshia. So without further delay, I would like to welcome the head of HR at Engro Fertilizers, Arshia Saqib. Arshia, it is so nice to have you here, and it is an absolute pleasure. I cannot even tell you how much this means to us.
Thank you so much, Anam. It's a great start. I was hearing to your story and then the humbling introduction you gave to me. I'm really thrilled and excited to be on your show. All the best.
Thank you so much. So, we're going to dig right in there, and I'm going to ask you, what does a growth mindset mean to you?
So, a growth mindset, I'll take a little bit of background to explain it, because in my early career and now I had different understanding and different perception of this, and over a period of time and with a lot of interesting experience, I've learned what is growth mindset. So I personally feel that belief plays a very important role in the growth mindset. The belief you have in your own self, in your own capabilities, in your talent, that belief is the first step. On top of it, if you bring in the right and positive intent, whatever you are doing, whatever you believe is the right thing to do, and then you put hard work in it, and finally, the willingness to continuously learn and improve. So when you mix up all of these things, they come out of as a growth mindset. So your belief in yourself, your right intent, you are doing the right thing, you're not getting distracted, you're putting your 100% in it, and then you're open to learn. Like the maths example you gave, I was recalling my childhood, and that exactly happened to me. And then some of my friends and some of the experiences in the life made me realize that no, maths is actually my strength and I can do quite a good job with numbers. So then, there comes in the improvement willingness. So all of these things you put together, and for me, that becomes your growth mindset.
Arshia, I just want to point out something that you've just said, which is intent. And I think that is something that I really want to focus on, because your intent can really take you far. And I think it can be the driving force behind your belief. Now, as a young professional, when you were, entering the industry and there was all this possibility in front of you, did you have any fears or any anxieties or something that held you back? And if so, how did you overcome that?
Yeah, so I still feel young. So there's no, so I'm still a young professional. But when I was for me, entering into a corporate world was a big achievement. So I was initially, even then, very high energy, very enthusiastic, and very proud of the fact that, that I've started my career. It was a great battle to be in the career. I'm talking about 20 years back, right after the college, I wanted to do a work, and it was a battle which I won initially, and then I never looked back. So first few years, तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा मेरे जो उसका रश था ना कि मैं जॉब कर रही हूँ और काम कर रही हूँ और करियर कर रही हूँ, उसमें मैंने बहुत सारी चीजें रियलाइज नहीं की एज अ ब्लेसिंग. So first few years, went very interesting, and then when I reached mid career, तो मुझे realize होना शुरू हुआ कि I have to improve on few things, और फिर जो outer world, make you realize a lot of things which they should not be. So वो made me realize few things, and that was so I was generally have been a very fearless person. And then very slowly the fear started coming in of making right decisions. थोड़ा सा प्रेशर हो जाता है आपके ऊपर कि आपने सही फैसला लेना है और आपने सही तरह से गाइड करना है. Then you have your teams with you, lot of people careers are attached with you. So वो डिसीजन मेकिंग मुझे थोड़ा सा बॉदर करने लगी. मुझे लगा कि और उसके पीछे क्या होता है, इट्स अ फियर ऑफ फेलियर एक्चुअली, कि आपने अगर गलत फैसला लिया है तो इट कैन मेक यू फेल, एंड फियर ब्रिंग्स शेम टू यू. व्हेन आई रियलाइज दिस थिंग, आई बिकेम मोर फियरलेस एक्चुअली. ऐसा कि फैसला तो मैं अपनी मर्जी से ही लूंगी और जो होगा देखा जाएगा. एंड देयर इज nothing in the world called failure. It's learning. You learn something and you move on, and you learn something and you move on. So I had my experiences, I had my failures, but it made me actually more fearless than being more submissive or going back into my shell. So I think that's how I managed it.
Arshia, I really love that you said that, because I definitely agree with you that these so-called failures, or this word, has really now become ingrained in a lot of our mindsets. And I think we have become so scared of falling in, especially in front of other people when people are watching, that we kind of hold ourselves back. But, I'd really like to get to the, dig a little deeper with this. And I'd love to ask you if you would like to share a story, where you felt that you were broken down, or where you felt that something had happened and you were in a situation where you had to pick up the pieces and build back again. We would love to see how you handled a so-called failure in your life.
Yeah, so, well, बहुत सारी चीजें जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया, मैंने एज एन इंडिविजुअल रियलाइज नहीं की. सो बीइंग a woman was never a handicap for me. Coming from a family where we all were girls and raised by a single mother all this time. So from the very beginning, we had this thing in our belief system that we have to do our own things, we have to pick our own burden. So उससे कभी मुझे फील नहीं हुआ कि being a woman is a handicap, या ये कोई ऐसी चीज है जिस पे कि मुझे कभी कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन होगी या मैं कुछ कर नहीं पाऊंगी just because कि मैं एक औरत हूँ. But sadly, what happens is when you progress in your life, and as a woman, when you cross your life cycle, like you're unmarried, and then you get married, and then you have kids. So when you go through this cycle as a woman, So your surrounding, instead of making you strong, they start making you weak, trying to make you strong. I hope it's not complicated. So becoming a mother is a beautiful thing, and when you become a mother, you become a stronger person. But your surroundings, people around you will start telling you कि तुम बच्चे को टाइम नहीं दे रही, तुम अच्छी माँ नहीं बन रही, तुम अच्छी बीवी नहीं बन रही, without even knowing कि reality क्या है. So these things for a period of time bogged me down, and the point came in my life when I thought कि यार, just leave everything and just follow these bachas. But then a couple of my very close friends and couple of mentors, they told me कि ये जिंदगी का life cycle ऐसे ही चलेगा. As women, you will go through all these stages. So you have to be strong and manage and plan and organize and look forward, and don't listen to all of these things. So the famous frog story, they told me that just close your ears and just focus on your objective and follow that. So then I started picking up my pieces, and then I started realizing that I have to go far for my kids, for my family. I want to make a good story for them. I want to become a good example for them, so they should know that resilience is part of our life, struggle is part of our life, constantly moving ahead is part of our life. So that is where those 3-4 years were a bit difficult when I became mother, when I had a big setup of relatives on both sides. And I'm not saying कि ये सिर्फ आपके हस्बैंड की साइड की फैमिली होती है, ये ज्यादा आपकी अपनी फैमिली होती है, ज्यादा आपको अपनी माँ से सुनना पड़ता है कि ये क्या हो रहा है और बच्चे नहीं सही हैं, all of this. But then these are the people, when they realize and see the value, then they start helping you and you build that support network. So वो period थोड़ा सा difficult था, जहाँ थोड़ा सा हिल गया था मेरा भी approach. But then thankfully with some good friends and some good mentors in life, I managed that.
So Arshia, first of all, I would like to thank you for that story. I honestly, even hearing that is making me emotional because I think that right now, myself included, a lot of us are going through a similar experience in life with a lot of external pressure coming in. And I think that really goes in and takes over your mind and starts putting you on this track where you feel that perhaps you even start to sometimes feel guilty for the work that you do. And I think this narrative that you have described where you went ahead and you told yourself that, no, this is the example I want to set for my family. I think if more of us can adopt that narrative rather than the narrative which tells you that what you are doing is perhaps even selfish, if we can move away from that mentality, I think it would bring a lot of inner peace. And so, I honestly almost teared up when you said that, because we really do feel that pressure from our families, from our friends, from people around us, from social media itself. And this brings me to something very important, something that you actually talk a lot about on Cross the Line with Arshia, which is your coveted talk show. We all know about it. And that is the concept of enablers, And now that we are really talking about this, I would like to ask you, what is an enabler and how can we, you and I, become enablers for others?
That's a beautiful question, and that's very close to my heart. And then again, it's based on my experience. I will tell you the story. It's a little story. So I was standing on a minute, अपने इसमें introductory इसमें भी बताया था. So I was going to my work. It's very recent, about 3-4 years back. So I was going to work, and Lahore को जो लोग जानते हैं, so signal आता है उस पे. It's a very busy signal, canal के ऊपर. So I was standing there and waiting for the signal to go green. I saw a woman struggling to cross the road, and she tried a couple of times, and then again she couldn't, and she just stood there. And then somebody came in, कोई stranger, और उसने उसको कहा कि मैं तो सिर्फ समझ सकती थी ना दूर से, मुझे लगा उसने उसको कहा कि you just follow me and you will cross the road. And then that woman just followed him. उसने वो road cross की, and then she crossed the road. And then that is the thinking and turning point for me, where I thought, जैसे मैंने शुरू में बताया कि capabilities आपके अंदर हैं, abilities आपके अंदर हैं, confidence नहीं है सिर्फ. So you need somebody, you need a hand which just tell you कि तुम ये कर सकती हो, बस सिर्फ इतना. और वो enablers हैं. वो उसको मैं enabler समझती हूँ जो आपको इतना सा पुश देते, जैसे जब छोटा बच्चा चलने लगता है और पहला स्टेप उठाता है और सब लोग साथ उसको बकअप करते हैं कि हाँ चलो यू कैन वॉक, टेक अनदर स्टेप, तो वो स्टेप लेता है, गिरता है, उठता है, फिर चलने लगता है, फिर दौड़ने लगता है और फिर वो उसका रिफ्लेक्स एक्शन बन जाता है. सो वो लोग जो जिंदगी में आपकी इतनी सी भी मदद कर देते हैं या आपको इतना कॉन्फिडेंस देते हैं दैट यू आर एट योर ओन, and then you don't need every time to wait somebody to come and help you and get you across the road. So that brought this idea in my mind that cross the line, and cross the line brings in all these enablers जो हमारे स्पेशली who help women unconditionally. जैसे मेरे mentors रहे लाइफ में, अगर at that point in time मेरी लाइफ में कोई ऐसे mentor ना होता तो शायद आज मैं यहाँ आपके साथ बैठ के ये सारी गुफ्तगू ना कर रही होती. सो वो एनेबलर था. आपकी ज़िंदगी में, मेरी ज़िंदगी में बहुत सारे लोग जो हमें एक अच्छा मशवरा दे दें, द पीपल हु जस्ट गिव दैट पैट एट द बैक, गिव यू लिटिल पुश कि यस यू कैन डू इट, they are the enablers. So I brought all those inspiring stories to my show, and I wanted our society to see कि women are, हमारी सोसाइटी का एक बहुत वो दिखाया जाता है कि women are very suppressed and you know बहुत जुल्म हो रहा है उनके ऊपर. आप प्लेस देखते हो वो आग डाल के जला दी, वो भी एक साइड ऑफ द सोसाइटी है, but then there is a positive side as well. So regardless of the gender, we have so many people around who are willing to help. You just have to raise the hand, you just have to ask for it, and I'm sure somebody will turn up to you and will give you that first push. So that's the concept behind Cross the Line, to bring in inspiring stories and inspire other people to become enablers.
You know, Arshia, that is absolutely beautiful. And I think this concept of enablers that you push forward in your conversations as well has really helped me also understand, you know, how simple it is to be encouraging and supportive, and how much of a difference that can make to someone else. A small action on our part can mean so much to somebody on the other side of the line perhaps. And that kind of feeling, you know, it's a feel good environment, and it really helps you get into the right mental space as well when it comes to pushing forward. A little story that I'll quickly share here is that I actually held off for about a month because I was sort of nervous to do the show. And I had enablers in my team, Umar Khan, Mashal Pirzada, Rafia Mohsin, Athar Wasim, who is our producer, pushing me and saying, no, let's do it. I think you can manage this. I think it will be good. And that support itself really pushed me forward. And so I thank you for your story. Here, I would like to ask you a question. I think a lot of us might be wondering, great, I now know how to be an enabler, but how do I surround myself with enablers? What actions do I need to take to perhaps push away from people who might not be enabling me, but might be inhibiting me instead?
All right, that's a very interesting question. What I've seen over the period of time, you have to find your support. And generally, unknowingly, I'm not doubting anybody's intention, but unknowingly and inherently, you know, when you're surrounded with people and you ask for advice, तो शुरू में इनकार सुनना पड़ता है. शुरू में, you know, you get kind of a response, नहीं 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 ये मत करो, ये बहुत complicated है, तुम नहीं कर सकोगी, और you know अच्छा बेहतर है घर पे ही रहो, बाहर जाके क्या काम, you know, so, उनको खुद को अंदाजा नहीं होता कि वो आपको क्या मशवरा दे रहे हैं. So मैंने over the period of time अपनी एग्जाम्पल आपको बताऊंगी, अपना support system over a period of time बनाया. So the names you mentioned, Umar, then my husband, and then couple of my friends from work and non-work. So एक छोटा सा safety net जो है वो over the period of बनाया है. And these are my go-to people. Whenever I want to bounce off any idea, I would go them and ask to them. So over a period of time, you realize that who is enabler and who is not. And that is through the interactions you have with them. That is through the feelings you get from them, the positivity and all of this. So मुझे ये लगता है कि आपके experiences के through over a period of time आप वो बना लेते हैं एक group, and then hold on to it and don't let them fade away from your life. You will have testing times with them as well, and but just hold on to them. So you will find few, but whatever you have, just keep them close to you.
That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that advice. I think we all really need it, especially during these times. Something else that you really talk about, which very much relates to this conversation right now, is this idea of Nai Soch. And you also did an entire video where you featured young professionals, people who had just entered the industry. They all spoke about how they are adding to this concept of Nai Soch, new thinking. So in today's world, when everything around us seems to be going crazy, right? We are in a situation that I don't think any of us imagined we would be in. What kind of nai soch or new thinking do we need to adopt, in your opinion?
Okay, so जब नई सोच का कॉन्सेप्ट मैंने जब उस पे वीडियोस की, वो भी एक छोटी सी स्टोरी है where it triggered to me. So हमारे surrounding में we have helps at our home, and we interact with these people, which I would say underprivileged जो sector है हमारा. So when I was interacting with them, one day I was talking to a lady, and I said that what are your plans for your daughter? So I thought she's gonna tell me कि बाजी बस अब इसकी शादी करूँगी और all of these things. Surprisingly, what I heard, what surprised me, she said कि ये पढ़ेगी और पढ़ के कुछ बनेगी, कुछ ना कुछ तो बाजी इसको सिखाऊंगी ताकि ये अपने पैरों पे खड़ी है. So that triggered me. ऐसे हम लोग यही सोचते हैं कि शायद तालीम ये किसी एक खास तबके का और ये किसी एक खास उसके अंदर उनका राइट है, but the thought has triggered. Then I asked just to kill my own curiosity. फिर मैंने कुछ और लोगों से बात की, like people like drivers, people like who are helping the office, they serve us tea and all those. So I've started talking to them, and the more I talk to them, the more I realized कि सोच बदल चुकी है. हमें सिर्फ रियलाइज करना है और अब हमें इन्हें हेल्प करना है, इन्हें इनेबल करना है, so they achieve these dreams for themselves. So वहाँ से ये ट्रिगर हुई सारी बात, and then I called them on my show as well. So one of my shows I called in the receptionist and the photocopier and the guy who serves the office, and then you can hear to them. Then they were talking through even a religious perspective. They were bringing in examples of Hazrat Khadija, and they were bringing in examples of Hazrat Aisha, and it was so heartening to hear them, the way they are connecting it with the religion and then with their social development. So वहाँ से फिर then I brought in another episode the millennials. So उनके बेचारों पे जितना इल्जाम लगता है और जितना हम उनको being the elder generation हम जितना उनको manipulate करते हैं. So I wanted to bring this story out as well. I wanted them to talk and explain their point of view, and then I've done some research, so I realized that they're better than us. This generation, the millennials, are better than us. And then thoda sa Gen Z, jo mere bache hain, Gen Z, when I hear to them, they're better than millennials even. So we have to accept that fact and prevail, let this new thinking prevail and accept it, क्योंकि हमें बदलना पड़ेगा इनको डेवलप करने के लिए, because in another 5, 10, 15 years you will see all of them in decision making positions. So हमें बदलना है, ये इनको इतना ही बदलना जितना हमें बदलना है, और एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी दिखानी और इंक्लूजन दिखानी है. So then I did some inclusion initiatives and did some other research, and I realized things have changed, thinking have changed, and we have to appreciate and encourage that.
No, that is absolutely fantastic. And it's really nice to see us now talking about the realities of life, right? Ki ye jo nayi soch hai, this new thinking, it doesn't just start with you and me. We have to go down and talk to everyone and sort of see how we can help move this forward along in all segments of society. And it's a beautiful initiative, and I really hope that our viewers will now go out and watch this as well, because it really is heartening, exactly like you said. And with this now, I really want to ask you, you are now the head of HR, and like you said, there are so many careers and so much responsibility that comes with that, all linked to you. So what are some of the skills or some of the learning focus areas that you think are now important for your team and for people in general? What should we really be trying to make ourselves better at?
All right. So, as I said that I work closely with millennials, and then I work with my seniors as well. So all three, four generations, I've had this opportunity to work closely with them. What I see, especially for the teams, for the new professional coming in, I think they have एक्सेलेंट एबिलिटीज आई मीन अगर मुझे कोई ऐसी असाइनमेंट है जिसमें मुझे बड़ा क्विक रिस्पॉन्स चाहिए और मुझे रिसर्च चाहिए आई वुड naturally go toward a millennial and ask him or her कि यार ये तुम मुझे थोड़ा सा हेल्प कर दो. So capabilities जो अब हमें चाहिए होंगी next 3 years, I think agility is one of them. So ये जो एक thinking barrier है ना कि this is my kind of a work and I can only do this and this is what I don't want to do and I can't do. You have to let go this kind of a thinking and build a diverse skill set. So अगर मैं HR में हूँ तो ये it's not a limitation for me. I need to understand business. I need to understand other areas which are surrounding to me. So हमें ओपन अप होना है, एजिलिटी लेके आनी है, डाइवर्स स्किल सेट बिल्ड करने हैं. और सबसे बड़ी इम्पोर्टेंट चीज, अगर आप कॉर्पोरेट में हैं और आप जॉब कर रहे हैं, आपको अपना बिजनेस समझना है, आपको उसके अप्स एंड डाउन्स और उसकी सारी टर्मिनोलॉजीज और वो समझना है, बिकॉज दैट इज वेयर द एक्शन इज. सो वो जो पहले बहुत एक हार्ड बाउंड्रीज थी ना, वो अब खत्म हो रही है और अगले 3 साल 4 साल में नहीं रहेंगी, बिल्कुल भी नहीं रहेंगी. जो हमें अपने आप को उसके लिए प्रिपेयर करना है. And why I see agility, because in current times, in the last 6 months, what I've seen, the people who were more flexible, adaptable and agile could survive this crisis of COVID, could quickly adapt to new ways of working. They could quickly adapt to new concepts. The people who were more rigid and who were more just 1-2 skill oriented, they suffered most. They had fears, they had other issues. तो वो अपने अंदर एजिलिटी, अडेप्टेबिलिटी, अंडरस्टैंडिंग बिजनेस, वेयर द वर्ल्ड इज गोइंग, लुकिंग अहेड फ्रॉम टुडे, ये सारी वो स्किल्स हैं जो हमें डेवलप करनी है. सो अगर आप एचआर हैं तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपने सिर्फ एचआर सीखनी है, और अगर आप बिजनेस में हैं तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपने सिर्फ बिजनेस सीखना है. सो एक diverse skill set is going to be very important. Understanding future, understanding what's coming up, it's very important.
Arshia, that is absolutely fantastic advice, and I like how you've given us very practical advice. Okay, this holistic approach to learning, I think really I agree with you, is the way forward. It's tough. It's not an easy thing to do, and it takes a lot of your time and energy. But really, that kind of control over knowledge, I think, can really help us move forward. Now, as a last question, I love to ask my guests this, and I think our audience can really benefit from it as well. What are some of the personal things you do in your life to develop yourself, to take care of yourself, and to relax?
That's absolutely nothing to do with my career. That's absolutely nothing to do with HR. It's absolutely away from this. So I like to spend a lot of time with my own self. चाहे वो reading हो या कोई भी skill हो, drive हो. And some of you know, my friends who close know that I have this inclination towards music. So playing an instrument or learning. So I'm a classical vocalist, not into practice, but that is what I learned. And so I keep myself, whatever time I get after work and family, then I try to, keep myself up to date with whatever is happening around, and whatever makes me happy, the inner me. It's important to feed your soul. If you don't feed your soul, you will just become a robot, and I don't want to be that. So that is how I spend time with myself, and keep learning or growing as an individual.
Arshia, that is absolutely lovely, and it has been such an honor to have you on the show, to share so many of your personal stories with us. to really guide us in terms of understanding all these concepts and all these buzzwords that we really do hear in the industry. But how often do we really dig deeper and try to understand what those mean to us and to other people? So it has really been an honor. You have really helped us along, and I hope that our audience has also been excited and reinvigorated and revived by this conversation. And I am super excited to see all the amazing things that are going to happen henceforth. And I also would like to add as a final note that I myself use music to relax. And so we can definitely have a conversation after this on that. And hopefully we'll get you to sing sometime for us as well. Not on TV, but otherwise. Thank you so much for being here, Arshia. Thank you.
Absolutely delighted to be here on your show. You have done a great job. It's like a pro doing interviews. So excellent. I mean, and a great show, great format. Keep it up. Keep bringing in people. Keep inspiring people. That's the responsibility we have. It's the life is outside our own parameters, so and it's larger than us, so we have to help others, make them that they are enabled and they get to where they want. So people need us, a lot of people need us. A small advice, a genuine smile can take them long ways. So keep doing the great work. It's a great work, and thanks to you and the platform.
Thank you, Arshia.
Okay.
Wow, that has been an absolutely, honestly for me, even emotional conversation. And I think a very personal conversation. So I would really, really like to extend a big thank you to our guest for allowing us to go there with you, our audience. Now, before I go, I have a quick exercise for you before I sign off for next week. Your gym task for this week is actually something quite simple. So I want you to do these very straightforward 3 things. I want you to identify one skill that you want to work on. Now, it doesn't have to be something like Arshia said, she likes to sometimes pick up an instrument or do something that's not typical to her work. It could very well be a work-related skill. You could say, I want to go out and maybe learn agility. Whatever it is, pick one skill, just one. And your second task is to make an action plan. And I don't want you to sit there and make an action plan for hours. Just tell yourself, this is what I need to do. Maybe I need to sign up somewhere. Maybe I need to get on YouTube and take online classes. Maybe I need to connect with somebody, a mentor perhaps, and ask them the way forward. Figure it out. And your third task is just to start. Don't wait. Make this your day one, not your one day. So begin now, whether it's picking up that guitar, making that purchase, going off and starting the course. Do it, and trust me, I hope it will be better. I would love to hear your stories of self-development as well. This show is very, very much about you as it is about us. So please do feel free to DM Activate. You can see our handles below. It's activate.pk. If you can send us a DM on Instagram or Facebook, we would love to feature your stories. Connect with us. Thank you. This is Anam Sethi signing off.